What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Down South Up North. Guys, hope you all had a good holiday. We were gone for quite some time. Matt went back to Virginia, spent time with family and friends for the holidays. But how was the holidays, man?
Oh, they were excellent, man.
Yeah, they're excellent.
They were excellent, man.
That's what we like to
Saw
hear.
a lot of things happen in the sports world. As you can see, look, I'm still clapping my hands over here, dude. Still clapping my hands.
Hey, it's go Buckeyes from here on out. But that's good, man. Holidays were. It's nice for me seeing family and friends, eating good food, watching good games, stuff like that. So can't really complain. But let's waste no time and get straight into the athletic alert. All right, man. I've been waiting for this moment forever.
Go ahead, man.
Since this game happened,
you got the spotlight. Microphone's on you. I'm gonna sit back and just smile.
all right. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. The Dogs got beat to a belt to ass last Thursday, 23-10 against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I've seen a lot of Georgia fans talk about it's Gunnar Stockton's fault. It's a quarterback problem. The more I think about this game, there's probably like five things that really went wrong. It's not Gunnar Stockton. He played great. I wouldn't say great, but he played as well as he could play. 20 for 32, 234, one touchdown, no picks against a good Notre Dame secondary. ETN, I don't get the fucking hype with that guy. I mean, he's had, 3 games for us? He had one good game against Texas, 11 carries, 38 yards, and a fumble in the red zone. But the one person I really want to highlight here is Mike Bobo.
Yes,
Mike
Mike Bobo.
Dude,
I'm talking about you all season long, bro.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I was talking with my other Georgia friends, and I was like, man, why is it just screen, run, pass, screen, pass, run, pass, screen, pass, run, pass, screen. It's the same shit, bruh. It's the same shit every possession. When we had Todd Monken, you have Brock Bowers at Wildcat. You have a toss to Adrian Smith. You have the play call was all over the place. But he can't stick with one thing and get established with it early. The run game, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Georgia's run game has been their bread and butter since before me and you were born.
Well, yeah, because they haven't had they had Matthew Stafford in the mid 2000s. After that, dude, I can't name you a decent Georgia quarterback.
I mean, my favorite,
unless I'm forgetting somebody,
is Aaron Murray.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Okay,
but he was good in college, but he obviously didn't pan out in the NFL like Stafford did. Obviously, Stafford was a number 1 pick in the draft for a reason. So yeah, he's probably the best Georgia quarterback we've ever had. But I always thought it was a quarterback issue. Kirby he was a defensive coordinator in the golden era for Saban, so he could get all the defensive players, but he can't get a damn quarterback. Gunnar Stockton played fine.
But that hasn't been. I mean, you said run game has been the bread and butter. In my opinion, it's that damn Georgia defense that's been carrying. They've always been better. We know Kirby Smart's a defensive guy. He's won championships with mediocre guys at quarterback. Look, I know you love your boy Stetson Bennett, but he was not. He was not anything special in my opinion.
He was like a 2-star or 3-star, but that's why you have a good offensive coordinator with Todd Monken, who knew Stetson's strengths and knew what he could do with that offense. If we had Mike Bobo and Stetson Bennett on the same team, we might have won 5 games this year, and I'm not bullshitting. Give us the same offensive group we have now. With Stetson Bennett, we're winning 5 football games. We're losing to Texas by probably 2 or 3 scores, losing to Bama, losing to Ole Miss, losing that Kentucky game, losing to Florida probably. That's 5 losses I just count in my head, plus the 3. Well, they already lost to Ole Miss. They lost to Bama, and then you count this Notre Dame loss, that's 3. but it's like the run game has, or their defense has been obviously their bread and butter, but offense, they've always been like a 2-3 running back rotation. It was Gurley, Michelle, Chubb, then it was Sony, Chubb, Swift, and then it was Robinson, White. Like, and then now you have ETN and Frazier. ETN is just kind of like a shifty guy. And then you have Frazier, who's just fast, and Cash Jones, too. So you still have your three punch, but Mike Bobo just can't do shit, man. He's awful. He is terrible. If I'm Kirby Smart, he had a lot on his mind. Sadly, his dad did pass away a day after the game. So obviously, he knew, coaching that game, that his father was in the back of his mind. But you can't use that as an excuse as a Georgia fan. If you do, you're sorry as fuck. You just can't do that. But it's like, Mike, do something, dude. It is the same three things. Go watch 2008 Georgia Bulldogs versus the Alabama Crimson Tide and tell me you see the same shit. Screen, screen, screen. Pass, 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 run, run, run. Screen, pass, run. It's like, but brother, you have to do something different. Like, it is the wide receiver's fault. Dylan Bell, he works at fucking Chick-fil-A on the weekends, Sundays included. He shows up to work on Sundays at Chick-fil-A. Arian Smith, he works at Goodwill. Fucking Cash Jones, he almost dropped that touchdown. Literally that close. Dominic Lovett, he's okay. I'll give him a pass. Ra Thomas, kicked off the team. Colby Young, kicked off the team. It's like, bro. And it's just, Notre Dame, I mean, hats off to him, dude. Marcus Freeman they lost to Northern Illinois early in the season. He came out there with a really good game plan and executed. Yes, Gunner did fumble right before going to the half, and the next play they score. But I mean, our left tackle that day, I mean, was he high on fentanyl? Like, what was going on, dude? He couldn't do anything. He literally couldn't do anything.
That was all momentum swung at the end of the half, and then they returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, look, it was just a nightmare that Georgia had no chance. Then you drop one of your receivers dropped a really big, like 40-yard gain.
But we did score that same
right,
drive.
I know, but still, that's like a momentum killer where you could have gotten things done a little bit earlier. But yeah, I mean, Georgia, I don't think really stood a chance at any point in the game. I think I missed the first quarter, but after that, I was like, man, they don't look good. But Kyle, let me ask you this: what happens in that game if Carson Beck suits up behind center without the injury?
I don't think anything changes. I think Gunner probably I think he played a better game than Carson was going to play.
Yeah.
Because when you have Mike Bobo in the booth calling your plays, he doesn't play to win. Like, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I sit down in my booth with all my guys and I'm like, all right, boys, like, let's put up 100 tonight. Let's make these dudes quit football. I never want to see their defense be on a football field ever again. I want to embarrass them live on television. Let's go. First play, we're calling a fucking halfback toss to the right. Let's get some blocks going. Like, he doesn't have that drive, dude. And this Georgia team, I mean, as a whole, had no leaders. That defense is not what it's been the past couple of years. It's not. No leaders. I remember a Georgia Tech quarterback, I forgot his name, but that 2021 Georgia defense, he was asked about it, and he was like, what was it like playing against that team? He was like, you felt like the whole field was 10 yards wide. Just because you throw it somewhere, 4 or 5 guys swarm the ball carrier and just demolish him. You hand the ball off, collapses. You lose 3 yards. And it just wasn't like that this year, dude. I'm a firm believer in college football, maybe honestly, just in football in general. If you want to win a football game, first thing you have to do is win in the trenches. And that's just something
Yep.
we haven't done at all year. Our left tackle got obliterated. Offensive line did not show up that night. Dylan Fairchild, a really, really good football player. He went to high school not too far from my high school. It was like a 3 or 4 time state champion in wrestling. So he, I mean, you want him on the offensive line. It's a big false start penalty, and that pushes us back like huge on like a third or fourth down or something. Um, Tight ends have been very huge for us. He doesn't get Oscar Delt involved. He doesn't get Lawson Lucky involved. He doesn't get really any of our guys involved, but it also doesn't help that they led the whole country in drops with 37.
Yep, I did see that.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. That just can't happen. Um if I'm Kirby Smart, you take a few days to decompress, spend time with your family, about your father and whatever, and when you come back to Athens, you got to sit there and just like, all right, I have like Mike Bobo, pack your bags, buddy. We are sending you to Guantanamo Bay. That's where you're going to spend the rest of your days in a cell in Guantanamo Bay. Because what you did this past season for Bulldog fans was just you're a terrorist, dude. You work for Al Qaeda. You work for ISIS. You work for somebody,
Him
dude.
and Arthur Smith both, huh?
Yeah, both terrorists. It's like I mean I'm running out of words here, man. It's it's just mind boggling. It's mind boggling to me how you have that offense in 2008, which was much more loaded than this team. And it's just same result, dude. Every big game, massive game, he just does not show up. He does not show up. And then he gives some half ass answer. Obviously, Carson Beck goes to the draft. He's done for the season. People are like, so what have you been talking about to Gunnar Stockton about this game? And he's like, you know what? Gunner has to be Gunner. Gunner can't be Carson Beck. It's like, no shit, Sherlock, you dumbass. Like, it's so crazy to me, dude. If I'm Mike Bobo and I see Gunner Stockton, you know, Kirby and Gunner and Carson come into my office, they're like, hey, Carson's going to the draft. He's done for the season with Tommy John. Gunner's your guy. You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are awful in my opinion. They're awful. They lost to Northern Illinois, dude. Kirby, Mike Bubba, you have 2 weeks to prepare. What's your game plan? I'm like, well, I'm going to kick my feet up. I'm going to grab a beer. I'm going to get some popcorn, whatever, and I'm going to watch the highlights of Georgia Tech versus Georgia from this past year. When Haynes King, what he did to our defense, he rushed for 200, threw for 300. I mean, you can't tell me Gunnar Stockton can't do that. You got to equip something different in your playbook when you have a quarterback that could run more than 5 miles per hour. I mean, Carson Beck's like a damn lawn chair on carpet, dude. He just can't move. Or an office chair on carpet. Can't move. So we don't lose those 2 fumbles. And if the play call was just a little bit better, I think we win that game, dude. I think it's the 23-10, but reversed. We score. That's 7-0. You take away the touchdown in the first half or right before the second half. 7-6, no, 10-6 dogs. You take away the kick return, it's 17-6 dogs. The game's 17-9 dogs. If you take away the 2 fumbles and then the kick return.
Yeah, the age-old what ifs and hypotheticals, man. As a fan of my teams, I've been playing that game.
I mean, dude,
way too
I'm
long.
looking at their team, and their quarterback threw for 90 yards. He did rush for 80.
No, I mean,
What?
look, I completely agree with you. I think Georgia beat themselves more than anything. I mean, the penalties, the drops, the fumbles, the turnovers, the lack. I mean, they didn't move the ball after that first drive. So that begs the question, Kyle. Did that first drive, that fumble by ETN really set them up for basically going dormant the entire rest of the game? But regardless, man, it's I don't think Georgia had the confidence in Gunnar Stockton to lead them any further down the road.
No, I had so much belief in Gunnar Stockton. I had more belief in him in that game if we had Carson in there.
Right.
It's just Mike Bobo, dude. You have 2 weeks to prepare. You have 2 weeks to prepare. And what do? You don't change a damn thing. You have the same plays, the same 7 plays you've called all year. If I'm Kirby Smart, you have to say, Mike, get your ass in here. Pack your shit. You're gone. Leave. Never come back. Never throw on a Georgia hat, a Georgia t-shirt, sweatshirt, sweatpants, sweater. Never throw that shit on ever again because you are a disgrace to the city of Athens and the entire state of Georgia. Hell, even the whole SEC. You are a disgrace. Never throw that shit on. Get the fuck out. Bye. Leave. Never come back. He didn't change anything. He's like, all right, we fumbled, but let's just do the same shit. It's like, dude, all I'm saying is,
Hey, Kyle, maybe this screen pass will work. Third time's a charm, right?
oh my god, bro, oh my god. Let's go. Potential replacements for Georgia's offensive coordinator. Please, bro. Like, I've been watching some shows and seeing people talk about it and what they could, what are their thoughts. And, like, I've seen people blame Gunnar Stockton, but that was not Gunnar Stockton's fault. It's not his fault. He couldn't see the damn left end or right end coming in full speed after just pancaking our left tackle. Like, he just couldn't see that. It's not his fault. I don't blame this on Gunnar Stockton at all. It's Mike Bobo, dude. It's Mike Bobo. I like Kirby. Why? Why did you hire him, man? Why?
All right, Kyle. I'll let you take a little breath. Kind of get the emotions out. Yeah. You go.
Why, dude?
You need some water or something.
Yeah, I need.
No, I get it. Especially look, you guys were ranked number 1 in the preseason poll, which again came true that the number 1 team did not win for. Now again, reigns true that number 1 does not really mean much in the preseason, but let's shift. Let's chop it up. Talking about Georgia, kind of staying on the topic. SEC, they have one team left, and that is Texas, the brand new team, in the Final Four. But a lot of these other conferences, due to NIL and the transfer portal and guys being able to redshirt in 5th year and yada, 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 is the SEC an overrated conference, or did they just have a down year?
They just had a down year. I think with the NIL, it's not like what we've seen the SEC be our whole life. Kids are not, sitting down with recruiters and with their families and coaches and the coaches being like, hey, if you want your son to be a better man, a better football player, a better student, literally all of the above, I'm the football coach to do all those things for your son. The University of Alabama, the University of Georgia, the University of Texas A&M, all these SEC schools were those schools. But then now it's not where can I develop the best and be the best player I could be before going into the draft. It's, all right, who's going to pay me more? I mean, look at Army and Navy, dude. They're shit. They've been shit for so long. There were 10, both of them are 10 win
They both had
plus team this
very.
year.
I mean, they were both in the top 25 for a majority of the season. I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, you have a running back, say from where is Army's West Point. So say you have a running back just up north like that. He's getting looked at by Bama, Ohio State, all these other teams, and Army's just like, hey, I mean, they're promising you like you're gonna sit probably like 1 or 2 years. You ain't gonna be a starter till your junior year. We'll throw you like say like $250,000 to come here and play for 2 or 3 years. Maybe throw you $500,000. Come play for 2 or 3 years. You just kind of beef up your stats against these G League teams. Boom, you're a first rounder, early second rounder. They're like, deal. See ya. I'm out of here. Fuck you, Georgia, Ohio State, Bama. It doesn't matter. All that matters is who's going to pay the most. For years, dude, for years, it was where can I go and develop the most and then be ready for the NFL. It's not like that anymore.
No, yeah. I mean, it's definitely cleared the playing field, and I think it's done it a lot quicker than we anticipated.
Yeah.
However, look, Bill Belichick is going to UNC, and he's been very vocal about what he plans to do there, kind of building a developmental program in Chapel Hill with the Tar Heels down there. So I think that's great for the game. Tom Brady has been very vocal about what he did at Michigan, learning under, as a backup and then, climbing his way up the depth chart. And then obviously that panned out really well for him in the NFL. But no, I completely agree. I think the best players in the country went to the Southeastern Conference. But, I want to still shine some light on these other conferences. I mean, the Big Ten, yes, they got Oregon this year, but they are significantly better than they have in years past. You can say NIL and transfer portal and all that, but I also believe that, a coach, the right coach, can really turn around an entire program. And even though I said they were overrated all year, you definitely agree with me. Coach Kurt Cignetti changed the culture of Indiana. Indiana has been shit for our entire lives. This entire century, they have just been terrible. And he walks in there after coaching at James Madison for the last few years, another program that he really, really stepped up in years past. And he just, this is a cocky son of a bitch walking in there, and he's talking the talk. And for most of the year, he walked the walk. He really did. Look, again, I don't think they should have been in the playoff. They didn't beat any top 25 schools at the time that they played them. But still changed the culture. Indiana is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Michigan had a really bad year. After Harbaugh left, they just got, the best recruit in the country coming up?
I believe so.
Right? Like, they got a 5-star quarterback coming their way. That's going to be a domination. Ohio State went duck hunting last week against Oregon, shut them the hell down. But Oregon was no slouch all year. And then Penn State, it's still in contention. I don't know. Look, it's James Franklin, so anything could happen. But, Kyle, I just named 5 teams in the Big Ten that are very, have very bright futures ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, dude. I think South Carolina has a very bright future.
I think so, too.
I can't say the same for Alabama. I just don't know if DeBoer is the guy. Okay,
He's not.
He's got huge shoes to fill, but I've seen him coach. I know most of his team left. And I know you're filling the biggest shoes that God has ever created in the game of college football. But there's no excuse. Like I mean, it's that old, how Urban Meyer passes a controller to Ryan Day, and then the meme of him driving the bus off the cliff. That is exactly what DeBoer has done. I mean, they had a really bad year, and then they go out and they lose to Michigan. I don't care if it's a bowl game or not. You don't lose to Michigan. Okay, Ohio State, different
Yeah.
story. Like that's a rivalry. That's a psychological game. No excuse there, especially after vouching that you should have been in the playoff to begin with. So South Carolina, you just spit on your dogs, man. If they don't get that shit figured out, they might not be a great team heading into the top 12 in the future years. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm positive. I love you, Kirby Smart. He's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. But again, like the future doesn't look as bright as it does for some of these other conferences. Texas is great. Love Sark to death. Another one of Saban's prospects, but man, other than that, man, like the SEC is just not. It doesn't seem like it's as strong as it is, and I don't know if we're gonna see this in future years. How this pyramid scheme of them depleting and literally being even with everybody else, or like you said, this was just a bad year for the SEC, and next year, yeah, we're gonna get our foot back on the gas and have 6 teams compete come December, January time.
Yeah, it's some. I think it was just an off year for the SEC. Like you said, South Carolina is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Ole Miss kind of crapped the bed a little bit, lost to Kentucky and lost to a few other teams. I think it was just an off year. Alabama, though, I don't think they're going to get better. Georgia, Monday night, dude, or all day Monday, a lot of players transferred out. Because it used to be you have to have like a really damn good reason to transfer, to leave. It's not just like, I can't play. I'm not playing. I want to leave. It's like, no, bud, doesn't work like that. You have to have a better reason. And half Georgia's team went to the draft. Malachi Starks with the draft, all that stuff. So overall, it was just a pretty crappy year for SEC. I think so.
Yeah, and I mean it's not just the Big Ten either. There's a lot of other schools or a lot of other conferences too that. Hey man, I mean, you saw what the Mountain West did this year. They had a pretty decent run. I mean, a lot of these schools got exposed in the top 12, but they had good runs and such. But I do think. Hey, I just want to say this. I think the Big Ten and the SEC is a lot closer than people think. Is that fair?
I think so.
Is that fair to say? I mean, years past, I know it's been SEC and then everybody else, but I think they've definitely closed the gap this past season. But exciting. And I don't think – I think you had the Buckeyes in the championship.
I think so.
But I know I had Oregon, Georgia because, why would I not choose 1 and 2 as a casual? But both those teams kind of got steamrolled out. But I'm excited. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 are in the top 4. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun, dude. That Ohio State, Texas. That's gonna be a really fun game, dude. Watching because I did go to the Peach Bowl and watching that Texas team, dude, in person, I was like, holy shit. Like, their safeties, like, fly across the field. Quinn Ewers just lets that thing rip, dude. So
how's my boy Scattaboo?
bro,
Cam Scattaboo.
that's my dog, dude. That's my dog. I thought that
running back for Arizona State, for those who don't know.
Yeah, I thought that game was over. Early. Throws a 30-yard touchdown to somebody, Golden, I think, Golden or Bolden, something like that. And then they take the punt return back. Like, I thought it was over. and then Scatterboo throws that 42-yard touchdown. Then they get a pick. Then the next play, he catches a 67-yard bomb. And then they run it in and score, and now it's tied. Like that game was crazy, dude.
That's good. Glad that was in Mercedes Benz too.
Yeah, it was surprisingly very small stadium.
Mercedes Benz?
Not the like stadium, but you get inside and it's relatively small
Feels
in
a
my
little
opinion.
cluttered, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe
I just watched
they built it, and look, we'll finish up here. Maybe they built it to match the Atlanta Falcons' energy from this past weekend, and really all season long. So
Hey, at least we beat the Dallas Cowgirls.
that's true. But hey, hey,
care about.
at least we beat the Panthers. So we kind of
we beat them once. We beat them once.
Hey, both ended 8-9, dude. Both ended.
Let's go,
8-9.
dude. Let's go, dude. Give me some fucking Paul on that one,
dude.
bro.
I will. 8-9, hell of a season for both of our teams. But Kyle, I don't like looking in the rear view. I'm looking in my front windshield and saying, Chicago, please take Mike McCarthy off of our hands. It would be the greatest gift that we've ever received if you do so. So, Kyle.
Yo, Raheem Morris, do you know what I'm doing? You know what this is? Do you know what this is? You know what this is?
Nope. Kyle, it doesn't matter. Just like this show right now, we're ending. He can take those timeouts into the offseason. He can take them into the offseason, dude.
He's a dumbass. I hate Raheem Morris. I hate Arthur Blank. I hate Mike Bobo. I hate Kirby Smart. I hate everybody.
Happy Tuesday!
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Guys, if you enjoyed just the whole episode of me just ranting, make sure to leave a comment. Subscribe if you aren't. But
2025, baby.
Happy 2025.
Hey, lot of
everybody.
Kyle, tell them a lot of stuff coming their way.
Hey, Matt's been cooking in the behind the scenes. Me and him and Gabe are cooking up for a massive 2025 for y'all. So make sure you guys are subbed now. Check out all of our socials down in the description below. But hope you guys had a good Tuesday, good weekend. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.